this year I got involved in Coffee Card, and I got to meet a lot of new people. A lot of people were so excited to receive their free cup of coffee for being a visitor, and they were so excited to share their experience at coming to the church for the first time with me. And as they kept coming, I kept remembering what they like to drink, and I would be like, "Oh, you like the Mocha Frappuccino?" And then they're like, "Yeah." And so it's really cool to see how this little ministry makes a big difference in people's life. We were doing a taco and tamale fundraiser, and it was our last night, and we spent many hours making these tamales. And it was our last night. We had our last 200 to make for the next day to sell, and it was gonna be just me and my mom because the team was already tired. They had just got back from working a little bit, and me and my mom just knew that it was just gonna be us. So we prepared ourselves. But then at the end of when they got back, they came in the kitchen and they said, "You know what? We're gonna help you guys. What do you need?" And my mom was totally shocked. She didn't expect them to go above and beyond and help like that when they just got back from working. So as we were on our way to Mexico for our missions trip, we were on the I-5 driving towards LA, and I had to go potty. So I asked Audrey if we could stop for a potty break, and so our next stop was a rest area. So we parked, and me and Audrey were on our way walking to the restroom, and I nudged Audrey, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and we both knew what we had in mind doing. And we were walking to the restroom, and we were having a conversation saying how we should give this homeless man that we just passed by a blanket, because we had about 30 of them in our van. And so we come out of the restroom, and we go to the van, and we get a blanket out, and we go down to where the homeless man was, and we asked him his name, and we gave him a blanket, and we prayed with him, and we told him that we just wanted him to know that no matter what situation he is, that God's his covering, and God's always going to be there for him. And he was like, I could see his eyes, they were really watering, and like he knew, he kept agreeing, and he said, "Yes, Jesus is always with me." And he's like, "I know he provides for me." And it's just so cool to not even expect to do ministry like that out of the blue, you know, and it's just an eye-opener, because not only were we on our way to go out of the country, but we also have people who need things, you know, in our own area, in our own backyard. And we got the opportunity to share Jesus with him and remind him that Jesus loves him and cares for him and protects him, just like this blanket will. And he was just so happy, and he thanked us, and we got to pray with him. It was just one of those moments that you'll never forget. In October last year, on our way to LA to work at the pumpkin patch, we all loaded the van, and we were on the I-5 just a few miles out of Springfield, and I had planned to file my nails. So as I was sitting in one of the bucket seats in the van, Pastor Chris was sitting in the other bucket seat, and so I took out my nail filer, and I went like this to file my nail. And before I could even get like 2 inches near my nail, PC jumps, and he's like, "Don't do that! You're not gonna do that! You're not gonna do that, right? Don't do that!" And I'm just like, what's wrong? And he's like, "Don't do just don't do that! Just don't do that!" And I'm like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I don't like the," and I was like,
okay, I won't do it. And then I put it away, and then I took it right, and he's like,